Exposed, Zulu slams HH's circle eating. Lungu family exposes UPND's fake growth. Zambia's political battlefield is heating up again, and this time, it's about who's really benefiting from the so-called New Dawn. Makebi Zulu has thrown a fiery accusation at President Hakainde Hichilema, saying what many Zambians have whispered for months, that the government's success story isn't about the people, but about those close to power. And now, the Lungu family has stepped in, claiming UPND's economic miracle is built on lies and propaganda. But here's the question that has everyone talking. Is Zambia's growth real, or just a carefully managed illusion? Stay with us, because in the next few minutes, we uncover what Zulu really meant, how the Lungu family fits into this explosive fight, and why this could reshape the political future ahead of 2026. Welcome to InspirAfrica Official, the channel that brings you Zambia's biggest political revelations, where truth meets power and facts challenge the narrative. Today's story dives into the heated war of words between Makebi Zulu and President Hakainde Hichilema, a battle not just about politics, but about truth, power, and credibility. Zulu says HH's government is eating, not serving. The Lungu family, meanwhile, is accusing UPND of faking Zambia's economic progress to mislead the nation. But what's really behind this clash? Who stands to gain from the chaos, and who's quietly pulling the strings? Let's unpack the statements, the hidden motives, and the reactions from Lusaka to Pretoria, because this story is far from over. Zambia's political temperature is rising again. In this explosive episode, we break down Makebi Zulu's bold attack on President HH, accusing the UPND of misleading Zambians with fake economic success. Meanwhile, the Lungu family adds fuel to the fire, challenging the government's narrative of progress. What does this mean for Zambia's future, and for the upcoming 2026 elections? Watch till the end as we reveal what's really happening behind closed doors in Lusaka's power circles. Subscribe to InspirAfrica Official for more political documentaries, leaks, and truth-telling across Africa. The explosive claim, circle eating in State House? Zambia's political scene has exploded with new drama, and this time, it's not the usual PF versus UPND shouting match. It's something far more personal, far more biting. Patriotic Front's Makebi Zulu has thrown a political grenade into the heart of State House, accusing President Hakainde Hichilema's administration of what he calls circle eating. It happened during a fiery press conference that's now gone viral across social media. Standing confidently before a packed room of journalists, Zulu didn't hold back. Cameras flashed. Phones recorded. Every word carried weight. He looked straight into the cameras and said, "We were told this government was for the people. But now, it's the same few eating again, just in a new circle." According to Zulu, the UPND's so-called economic miracle isn't reaching ordinary citizens. The jobs, the contracts, the investment opportunities. He claims they're being shared among a small inner circle of political loyalists, business partners, and State House insiders. It's growth for the few, Zulu added, while the majority remain hungry. Within hours, his comments set Zambia ablaze online. Hashtags like #CircleEating, #FakeGrowth, and #UPNDClique dominated Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Influencers, opposition figures, and even neutral commentators joined the debate. Some called Zulu brave for saying what many Zambians have been whispering. Others dismissed it as political drama, a desperate attempt by PF to stay relevant after Edgar Lungu's death. But Zulu's words have struck a nerve because they touch a painful truth: the gap between Zambia's reported economic recovery and the daily struggle of ordinary citizens. And as debates intensify, one haunting question remains: is Zambia's growth real, or just numbers in a privileged circle? The Lungu family fires back. "We built what they're claiming." In a surprising twist, the late Edgar Lungu's family joined the conversation, and their message was explosive. Speaking through a family spokesperson, they accused UPND of taking credit for projects and policies that began under the Lungu administration. From road infrastructure to energy expansion, from the decentralization agenda to early investments in mining reforms, they claim HH's team is repackaging PF achievements as their own. Even the growth figures they're boasting about, the foundation was laid by Edgar Lungu. HH is simply reaping what PF sowed, the spokesperson said. This statement has reignited the old rivalry between PF's legacy and UPND's reform agenda. while UPND supporters argue that HH brought fiscal discipline and global credibility back to Zambia. PF loyalists insist that the country's stability today wouldn't exist without Lungu's groundwork. The argument isn't just political, it's personal. To Lungu's family, defending his record is defending his memory. And as Zambia still grapples with the emotions surrounding the former president's death, that defense carries emotional weight across the nation. The numbers game, real growth or fake hope? Economists have joined the debate, and their analysis paints a more complicated picture. Yes, Zambia's inflation rate has dropped, and the kwacha has seen occasional rebounds. Yes, the government recently celebrated a positive GDP growth rate and renewed confidence from international lenders. But experts say those numbers don't reflect what's happening in ordinary homes. The macro numbers look good, one analyst said. But when you visit markets in Kanyama, Chingola, or Chipata, prices are still high and jobs are still scarce. That's not growth people can feel. This gap between economic data and daily reality has become a political weapon. PF supporters argue it proves Zulu's circle-eating claim that the benefits of growth remain locked within a privileged elite. Meanwhile, UPND officials fire back, saying it takes time for structural reforms to reach households, and that critics are twisting progress into propaganda. Still, even neutral observers admit something uncomfortable: the public trust gap is widening. People hear numbers, but they don't feel change. And in politics, perception often matters more than statistics. Inside the power battle, Zulu versus the state. Makebi Zulu's attack didn't come out of nowhere. Sources within the opposition reveal that his statement was part of a broader PF strategy, a move to reposition the party as the true voice of accountability ahead of the 2026 elections. Since Edgar Lungu's death, PF has struggled with leadership battles and credibility issues. But Zulu, once Lungu's legal defender during the burial controversies, has emerged as one of the few figures with both political energy and public visibility. Insiders say Zulu's circle-eating accusation is meant to rally frustrated Zambians who feel left behind by the UPND government's economic reforms. And it's working. Crowds at PF gatherings are growing again. Social media influencers are resharing PF videos that contrast Lungu's populist policies with HH's corporate-style governance. But the state isn't taking it lightly. UPND-aligned commentators accuse Zulu of trying to resurrect Lungu's shadow politics, a system, they say, that created the very inequality he now condemns. One UPND MP fired back, saying, "It's laughable. The people who ate yesterday now call others eaters." The hypocrisy is stunning. And so, what started as a single phrase, circle eating, has become a national mirror, reflecting everyone's contradictions. The bigger picture, the battle for Zambia's political soul, as the dust settles, one thing is clear: Zambia's political battlefield is shifting again. Makebi Zulu's bold words have reopened old wounds and forced a new national debate. Who truly represents the people, and who is merely eating from a new plate? The Lungu family's defense of the PF legacy has given fresh life to a party once thought to be fading. Meanwhile, the ruling UPND now faces the task of proving that its growth narrative isn't just a story told on paper, but one that genuinely improves lives. As elections draw closer, Zambia is once again caught between two stories, one of reform and transparency, the other of memory and legacy. But perhaps the real story isn't about PF or UPND at all. It's about the ordinary Zambians, the farmers, miners, and street vendors, still waiting for that promise of shared prosperity. Because until growth is felt, not just announced, every leader risks being accused of the same thing: feeding a circle, while the nation goes hungry.